Let's take a look at some drug addict stock images. I need to start with the disclaimer that drug addiction is not funny, but these stock images are because they've cartoonified a really horrible experience. You know, these are for your brochures and PowerPoint presentations, and it's people posing as drug addicts. If you or someone you know is a drug addict, then get down to your local stock photo office and see if you can set up a photo shoot, because you can make much better stuff than this. The businessman who really loves his icing sugar. It looks like he's just been caught in the act, but also his posture in general. I don't believe that you've just entered the room. I can't imagine any scenario where he was being particularly secretive with this. He's a bit of a messy consumer. He's wasted all this stuff. I hope he scoops it up and has another go. Oh, it's sad to see what Eaglebone's Falconhawk does on his days off. This one's actually pretty good. It looks like she has some actual experience of doing drugs and maybe sitting down in a pure white room. Why are they dressed for an office work day? Is it because these are generally for presentations that you'd have in an office? It just looks like he's gone for his heroin break. This drug addict young man, this is a pretty good warning of what drugs do to you, because, you know, that's apparently a young man. Poor dude. I dreamed a dream in time gone by. There's a lot in this one, but the main thing I'm getting is Anthony Kiedis vibes, and I just wouldn't have associated him with drugs. This is Elvis. This is Elvis crossed with what attractive men apparently look like in women's erotica. Good to get some scene girl representation. Drugs are inclusive. They even have black people. Wait, black drug addict? That's not a black drug addict. Is she addicted to black drugs? Then the best way to take your medication. Actually, I'd be pretty careful taking them like that, because I think the plastic is bad for you. He's zonked out, but he's in this really serene environment. It's like implicitly a kind of office. There's a plant there, and it's all white. If anything, this reminds me of a dentist's waiting room. So maybe he's just had some significant dental work, and, you know, the anesthetics has knocked him out for a bit. That's a doctor. He's a doctor. I guess he would know what's good for him. It's good when your friends are around to support you whilst you're snorting drugs. I can't tell how much of those trousers are aesthetic and how much are just actual damage. Look, that much leg on show, that's no longer a trouser. I'm not even sure that's around her leg anymore. A view from beneath the glass table. Here women taking drugs are kept beneath the glass table by the patriarchy, and they can't get any higher. I love cereal. You know, I'm not sure she's a drug addict. She's just a drug taker and maybe a drug dealer. It does look like she's got some white powder around her nose, but if you look more closely, you find out that's the stock image watermark. They couldn't afford enough actors for this one. Yeah, one drug. Teenage African boy taking drug outdoors. That's not the concept of a drug addict. That's someone taking one drug. It's best when you're taking drugs to strip down to only your watch and check yourself out in the reflection in your spoon. Another office one, another familiar actor, and this one feels like he's just turned up for a day of unrelated stock photos whilst high on drugs, which is actually a really good concept. I'd like to see more of that. Every stock image done by people who don't know where they are. It wouldn't make that much difference, I guess. I did notice back at the top that one of the related terms is Indian, and I thought, oh, it looks like to get drug addict stock photos in India, they just actually go to some drug addicts. I hope they paid them, but I don't know what I hope they paid them with. Okay, that's all you have time for. You can help out people who are struggling with drug addiction by never paying for a stock photo ever.